Hi, everyone. This is Wendy Shuck, and I vote to elect Ryan Caholen as temporary chair for today's meeting.
Second, Leslie Wallace.
All right.
And we need a roll call vote.
Yep.
Yep.
So,
Leslie?
yep, Leslie,
Yep. Okay.
Wendy Shuck,
Okay, aye.
and Ryan Caholen, aye. Okay. All right, so here we go. I'd like to call the meeting to order. To all persons deemed interested or affected by the Town of Barnstable's Old Kings Highway Historic District Act under Section 9 of Chapter 470, Acts of 1973, as amended, you are hereby notified that a hearing will be held tonight on the applications listed on the agenda for Wednesday, March 8th, 2023. We'd like to remind applicants and audience members that we are an elected volunteer committee following the guidelines of the Town of Barnstable's Old Kings Highway Historic District Act. Any applicant or interested party who is aggrieved by a decision of this committee has the right to appeal the decision to the Old Kings Highway Regional Historic District Commission. We ask that during the evening's proceedings, cell phones be turned off and conversations other than those before the committee take place outside this remote meeting. When an application is being called, we ask the applicant and all interested parties and abutters to identify themselves. Lastly, as best practice for meetings held remotely where we may not be able to visually identify who is speaking, we ask all committee members and participants to identify themselves before making any motion or comment. Online audience members wishing to participate during the public comment section of a hearing can use the raise hand button to notify the chair. Dial-in audience members wishing to participate during the public comment section of the hearing should press *9 on their phone to notify the chair. All participants will be muted. You must be recognized by the chair in order to participate. Our first order of business is to take a roll call attendance. Leslie Wallace.
Here.
Wendy Shuck.
Here.
George Jessup.
Here.
And Ryan Caholen here.
This is Wendy Shuck, and I move to open the public hearing.
Okay.
I'll second. George Jessup, I'll second.
All right. Roll call vote. Leslie Wallace.
Here.
This is a vote to open the public hearing.
Yes.
Point of order, I apologize. If the chairman can read in the item first, then we'll open
Oh,
the,
sorry.
not a
Yep.
problem.
Jump the gun.
All right. Exciting night. All right.
We
So
have
under continued applications, there's none. Our first application for Ann and Leahy Carnes. Ann Carnes and Richard Leahy, 35 Harbor View Road, Barnstable, map 319, parcel 045, built 1935. To rebuild an existing covered porch, leaving the roof, and replacing the blocks with helicals.
Do I open again, Kate?
Yes.
Yes.
thank-
Okay, this is Wendy Shuck, and I move to open the public hearing.
George Jessup, I'll second.
All right, roll call vote. Leslie Wallace,
Yes.
Wendy Shuck,
Yes.
George Jessup,
Yes.
and Ryan Caholen, yes. Okay, do we have the proponent or the applicant?
Wesley Price here of WD Price Inc., the applicant.
All right,
or
Wesley,
representative of the applicants.
very good. Tell us about your project.
So the intent is to complete the restoration of this cottage by building a porch that matches the adjacent building. There's two buildings on this property. The building closest to the road, which you can just see in this photo, has a half wall porch with like a screened in porch with a half wall, which we would like to duplicate to bring it more in line with the neighborhood. Yep. So that's the as-built. There should be another page there as well. There it is. So that proposed front of the cottage elevation and the sides is matching the building that is next door. So there's some continuity there between buildings. It's also, we feel, more historically correct.
Okay,
What was the reference to the helico?
So we're in a district that we'd like to install helicals instead of digging in sonotubes. It's less invasive. So that's our
you want to use a helical pile.
correct. Yes.
Okay, I understand now.
Okay. If you have nothing further, we'll move to committee discussion. Leslie Wallace.
It's fine with me. I like how it will incorporate the house next to it. That'll be uniform.
All right, Wendy Shuck.
Yeah, I agree. I think it will blend in nicely with the other structure on the property and the rest of the neighborhood. One question about the helical piles, like how much of those are exposed? About like, is it?
In this case, there's actually a stucco. I think it's visible in that first image that was shown. There's a at the ground level, there's a stucco area that sort of minimizes the view under the deck. So our goal is to not to so that there's none of that is visible. If in fact that stucco see that stucco border there?
Yeah,
If that stucco cracks while we're working and needs to be removed, we anticipate only 6 to 8 inches of the helical showing, and it's actually just the saddle that the deck beam sits in, not the actual helical pile itself.
okay. And do you plan on doing any landscaping around there or?
There's no landscaping currently proposed. When it's summertime, it is a nice green lawn there, but yeah, there's no landscaping proposed.
Thank you.
All right, George Jessup.
You're going to put in a half wall. What is the facing on the half wall?
The intent is for it to be white cedar, which is what the adjacent building has as well.
And matches the siding on the existing house?
It does, yeah.
Okay. Trim associated with that?
The
Yes.
trim is going to be intended to be AZEC. It is the rest of the house has been upgraded. We've replaced all the trim and previous phase of the exterior renovation project to AZEC, which was approved by the board.
Painted?
So
I'm
sorry?
sorry. I was going to ask, is it going to be painted?
It will be, yes.
Okay. The reason for that is that it reduces the static electricity that's formed, especially on corner boards. And it also, because it's on AZAC, does not have any moisture getting into the backside of it and lifting the paint or causing the deterioration of the paint surface. So it lasts forever. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you, George.
And Ryan Caholen, I think just to echo the comments I heard, I think blending with the existing structure is very helpful. I personally am a fan of helical piles. I typically like that look. I feel like you can dress it up to look a little more appropriate. You're not beholden to a concrete block being exposed, looking like we just grab whatever materials were available. So I like the outside the box approach. Is there any public comment?
Chair, this is Kate Maldonato. I do not see any members of the public raising their hand, but please speak up if I am overlooking you.
Okay.
All right, seeing none. So for a point of order at this point, Caitlin, will we close this public hearing?
Correct. If the board feels like they have enough information, then the next item, and you've exhausted your review, the next step would be a motion to close the public hearing.
Okay. And I
Okay.
can do that. So this is Wendy Shuck and I move to close the public hearing.
Judge Jessup, I'll second.
Excuse me. Hi, this is Linda DiStefano. We're on this docket as well.
Yeah, so Linda, I believe what we're doing is we're closing the hearing for this particular application, and then we're gonna move to yours next.
Oh, very good. Thank you. I'm sorry.
No.
Okay.
That's a great question, though.
We don't often get those.
All right, so we have a motion to close the public hearing for 35 Harborview Road and a second. We'll do a roll call vote. Leslie Wallace,
Aye.
Wendy Shuck,
Aye.
George Jessup,
Aye.
and Ryan Caholen, aye. So
All
now
right.
we make a motion to approve and accept.
Yes, so this is Wendy Shuck, and I move to approve the certificate of appropriateness for, let's see, where are we? I'm on the, Richard Leahy and Ann Carnes, 35 Harborview Road, Barnstable, Mass. Map 319, parcel 045, built in 1935, to rebuild the existing covered porch, leaving the roof and replacing blocks with helicals, as submitted.
All right, can we get a second?
Do we include the enclosure?
I think that was in the plan?
Yeah.
Yes.
That was in the plan.
Yes. I didn't hear it in the vote, that's all.
Are you gonna second, George?
I'll second, yes.
All right, roll call vote. Leslie Wallace,
Aye.
Wendy Shuck,
Aye.
George Jessup,
Aye.
and Ryan Caholen, aye. Okay, our next order of business this evening will be for Linda DiStefano.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Next item, Linda DiStefano, 119 Augusta National Drive, Barnstable, map 355, parcel 009, built in 1974, to remove all existing cedar shingles and clapboards and replace with Cape Cod gray cedar shingles and replace existing white trim with white AZAC.
Okay,
And do we have a motion to open the public hearing?
yes, this is Wendy Shuck, and I move to open the public hearing.
I'll second, George Jessup.
All right, roll call vote. Leslie Wallace,
Aye.
Wendy Shuck,
Aye.
George Jessup,
Aye.
and Ryan Caholen, aye. Okay, do we have the applicant?
Yes, Linda DiStefano is here.
All right, Linda, please tell us about your project.
We're looking to remove all of the existing cedar shingles on the returns, as well as the three sides of the home, and all of the shaker beige clapboards along the front, and replace everything with Cape Cod gray cedar shingles. And then with the white trim, there are some boards that are actually rotting, so we're looking to replace some of the, not all of it, but some of the existing white trim with AZAC.
Okay. Thank you very much. We'll go to committee discussion. Leslie Wallace.
Yes, are you doing anything with the deck in the back? Just leaving
No,
it?
the deck,
looks- Yeah, pretty new. Yeah,
the deck is new.
yeah,
Deck
okay.
was,
Yeah,
last year.
I think that's good. I have no problem with it at all.
All right, thank you, Leslie. Wendy Shuck.
Yes, I think, just to recap, so the house will be uniform, the siding all the way around, really is what's gonna happen. That correct?
Yes, that's
Yeah,
correct.
yeah. I think it's appropriate. I think the materials are appropriate. Blends in nice with the neighborhood, so I don't have any other comments. Thank you.
Thank you, Wendy. George Jessup.
Well, I'm glad to see somebody in the neighborhood is not going to plastic. It seems to be a trend in
Oh, we
the
like the real thing.
neighborhood. So I do appreciate the natural weathering, and I will tell you that the pre-dipped shingles will last an awful lot longer, and they will not roll or or check or split. The reason I know this is I did the back of my house, which is a southern exposure with the same dipped shingles, and it's been on there for 30 years. So you have a long life ahead of you. So I hope you like the siding you've chosen. It's
We believe we did.
I think it's very appropriate.
Thank you. And Ryan Caholen, yeah, I think it's appropriate. I as well favor the pre-dip shingles. I'm going on year 12, I think, with my oldest. This is the first day. So yeah, the pre-dip shingles tend to hold up really well. Okay, let's see. Thanks for the presentation. Is there any public comment?
Chair, this is Kate Maldonato. I do not see any members of the public raising their hand.
Okay, do we need a motion to close the public hearing?
That is correct. If the
Okay.
committee has exhausted their review and do not have any further comments.
Nope, doesn't look like we do. Hey, this is Wendy Shuck, and I move to close the public hearing.
I'll
We have a
second
second.
again.
All right, George, thank you. Roll call vote. Leslie Wallace,
Aye.
Wendy Shuck,
Aye.
George Jessup,
Aye.
and Ryan Caholen, aye. And can we get a motion to move and approve?
Yes, this is Wendy Shuck, and I move to approve the certificate of appropriateness for Linda DeStefano, 119 Augusta National Drive, Barnstable, map 355, parcel 009, built 1974. Remove all existing cedar shingles, natural and clapboards, shaker beige, and replace with Cape Cod gray cedar shingles. Replace existing white trim with white AZAC as submitted.
Can we have a second?
I'll second again.
All right, roll call vote. Leslie Wallace,
Aye.
Wendy Shuck,
Aye.
George Jessup,
Aye.
and Ryan Caholen, aye. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Stefano, and have a good evening.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, next up on the agenda is minor modifications. There are none. Under extensions, we do have 2 extensions tonight to talk through. And first one up will be for John and Susan Littlefield, 11 Holly Lane, Barnstable, map 336, parcel 064, built in 1968. To demo and rebuild a garage and addition on the east side of the existing house. Do we have a motion to open the public hearing?
Yes, this is Wendy. Oh, go
I
ahead.
apologize. Point of order. I forgot to clarify for the extensions, we don't have to open the
Oh,
public
okay.
hearing. So
Okay.
the extensions and the applicants are not obligated to come because they've been previously approved. So for these 2 items, once Ryan reads them in, I'll bring up the drawings on the screen just so the committee can look through the drawings, and then it would be a vote to approve the extension. So appreciate your patience on this. So I'll bring up the drawings for this one.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
The extension is to continue the application, is it not?
This is Kate Maldonato. That is correct. So certificate of appropriateness are valid for a year. And if for any circumstance the applicant would like to extend it, we often see this due to cost of construction and timing to schedule construction. Applicants will request an extension for an additional year. So this is just a review to make sure that the committee still feels that it's appropriate to extend it for an additional year.
Okay. And there was nothing new added there, right, Kate? It's exactly as it was approved before.
That is correct. Yep.
Okay.
So that's why we give the application that was previously submitted and then just pull up the drawings to be as submitted if the committee feels it's still appropriate to allow it to be approvable for a continued year.
All right, so we'll run through a quick committee discussion. Leslie Wallace.
Yeah, I'd approve the extension.
Okay, Wendy Shuck.
Yeah, I agree. I think the improvements are nice. I notice it has solar panels too, and those seem to conform, with the standards that we have. So I'm in agreement. I think it's fine.
All right, George Jessup.
And what's the address on it again?
The address is 11 Holly Lane.
Is that, Kate, is that a major road? Is that one of our primary roads, similar to Main Street in Barnstable Village? Holly Lane?
I think it's near Kevanny. I don't think so, George.
I think you're right. I wasn't too sure whether that was one of the primary.
One of those
Excuse me.
side streets. like
Yeah.
Yeah,
Kevanny.
we've got 3 or 4 of them that are feeders through to Main Street and are considered a primary road. I think Holly Lane is in the Comaquid area, is it not?
That is correct. I've just shared my screen to pull up
Yeah.
where the property
Okay.
is. So it's the
Okay,
red
then-
icon. And here's Holly
So
Lane.
we don't have any more stringent regulations for that area. So that's fine. I think we can continue the approval as previously issued.
All right, this is Ryan Caholen. I feel that the extension is also appropriate. So with that, can I get a motion to close the public hearing?
And point of
Moved.
order, this would just be a motion to, it's okay. This is just a motion to approve the extension for the property.
All right, then can we have a motion to grant the extension to 11
Yeah.
Holly Lane, John and Susan Littlefield?
Yes, this is Wendy Shuck, and I move to approve the extension for John and Susan Littlefield, 11 Holly Lane, Barnstable, map 336, parcel 064, built in 1968, demo and rebuild garage and addition on the east side of the existing house as submitted.
Do we have a second?
I'll second again, George.
All right, roll call vote. Leslie Wallace,
Aye.
Wendy Shuck,
Aye.
George Jessup,
Aye.
and Ryan Caholen, aye. Okay, our last extension is for, let's see, Stone and Julia Dow, 60 Stony Point Road, map 336, parcel 043, built 1959, to construct a 22 by 7 foot deck with attached pergola.
What's the pergola attached? Oh, it's attached to the house. It means they need a permit.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So.
All right, we'll move to committee discussion. Leslie Wallace.
Yeah, I remember this. It's fine. Give them the extension.
Wendy Shuck,
Yes, I agree. I don't have any concerns. I think it's fine.
all right, George Jessup.
Yeah, I seem to recall this as well, and I think there was some argument about the scale of the components, and it was agreed. The whole committee agreed to approve it, and I'll continue that approval.
All right, and this is Ryan Caholen. I feel like the extension is appropriate, and it was previously approved as submitted. So with that, we'll close the committee discussion. And I'd like to make a motion to approve the extension.
Okay, this is Wendy Shuck, and I move to approve the extension request for William Stone and Julia Dow, 60 Stony Point Road, map 336, parcel 043, built 1959, construct a 22 by 7 foot deck with attached pergola as submitted.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, roll call vote. Leslie Wallace,
Aye.
Wendy Shuck,
Aye.
George Jessup,
Aye.
and Ryan Caholen, aye. Okay, under other, there's none. last item is approval of minutes for February 22nd, 2023. And if everyone has had a chance to review those minutes, do we have a motion to approve as submitted?
Yeah, nobody has any edits, no? No, okay. This is Wendy Shuck, and I move to approve the minutes from the February 22nd, 2023 meeting.
Do we have a second?
I'll second again. Thank you.
Okay, roll call vote. Leslie Wallace,
Aye.
Wendy Shuck,
Aye.
George Jessup,
Aye.
and Ryan Caholen, aye. Well, that is the items we had on tonight's agenda. Our next meeting is scheduled for March 22nd, 2023, followed by April 12th, 2023. Do we have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Yes, this is Wendy Shuck, and I move to adjourn today's meeting Wednesday, March 8th, 2023.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Roll call vote. Leslie Wallace,
Aye.
Wendy Shuck,
Aye.
George Jessup,
Oh, let me think about that. Aye. Good evening.
and Ryan Caholen, aye. With that, have a good evening, everyone. Thank you very much.
Thanks,
Thanks
Ryan.
for your patience,
Good job.
Kate.